Now, let us begin the conclave. The first speaker is Mr. Rajkumar Purwal, currently managing the various technologies team like Oracle Technologies, Salesforce, Bullhorn, Freshwork, Cloud Infra, etc. Mr. Raj has 14 plus years of experience in HR technology consulting and ERP implementation, upgrade, and support spread across various industry verticals like public and private banking and financing institutes, staffing, manufacturing, retail, BPO, public and private educational institutes. I would request you, sir, to come.
Thank you. So first of all, I'll thank the volunteers for doing the hard work and arranging this. And then I'll pass on my gratitude to Dr. Archana ma'am, then obviously Meha ma'am and Shikha Kheda ma'am. And at the same time, I can see Vikas sir and Dipali ma'am also here. So just before 3 or 4 years back, we were sitting that side only. So I can feel that how actually it feels, because session has started almost an hour delayed. So you must be, I don't know how many had a breakfast or not, but I hope you had a breakfast and you enjoyed 1 hour duration. Okay, so I'll start. So today's topic is managing the multi-generational workforce, right? And I can start with the department only. So consider the case of Archana ma'am. And in our department only, there is multi-generational workforce. So starting from Professor G.C. Maheshwari to Dipali ma'am or Yashdeep sir. So you can see the difference between the age group of the people who are currently working over here. And when you are given a responsibility to manage the multi-generational workforce, you need to understand first that the people are born in certain age group are having a different contextual background. When I talk about the contextual background, we need to understand that how that person thinks, because always person think as per the scenario he has gone through based on the past experience. So at the time of his upbringing, what was the social economical indicator, what was the political alignment in that particular arena, what was the technological advancement in that area, and all those things matters a lot. So depending on that, you need to make a decision. You cannot apply the same stick with everyone. So obviously you can also see that sometime if you are going to the senior faculty member with regard to your queries, you know that how to reach out, either the Professor Suri Sahib or Archana ma'am. But at the same time, if you are reaching out to Dipali ma'am or Vikas sir, you have a different attitude, right? So consider the same scenario. Always correlate the same scenario, because you are a management graduate. After 6 months or 1 year, when you will pass out and you will enter into the corporate world, the first thing which will be given to you is that you need to manage a team. Now consider the case that in your team, there is a person who is having a 20 years of experience, right? Very methodological, guru might be in his domain. But you are given the accountability to manage that person also, because you are the team coordinator or team member, because that is your designated role. But at the same time, that person is having a 20 years of experience. At the same time, there might be a person who is having a 30 years of experience also, to whom you will report, right? And at the same time, there are a person who is having a just 5 years senior to you, and probably there might be a person who is just 2 years junior to you. So in your team, you have different people. So probably if you go to the online blog also, there are various articles has been written, various videos has been published, where they have categorically defined the various generations, right? Even before you come to this class, and if you have gone through the topic, probably if someone done the search in Google also, you found that the people who was born from 1946 to 1966, they were boomer generation. Then there are people who was born post 1965 onwards to 1980, they are probably generation X. People like me, Saurabh or Vikas sir, we are generation millennial generation, right? Yeah. Okay. You look more younger than that, I'll say. So, and then there is the people who was born after 96 onwards, they call generation Z. And now we call, like, especially the people or the kids who has born after 2005, 6 onwards or 2012 onwards, generation Alpha. Now consider the case that Professor G.C. Maheshwari, when he was come to adulthood, or Professor Suri sir, what was the scenario? What was the technological advancement? People like them used to feel they must be believing that we should have a in-person interaction, right? So they will say that all the students need to be present in class in front of me. I will thoroughly do the evaluation and then I will manage. Same thing, same scenario will be happen in the corporate world also, right? But at the same time, there might be case that you consider the case that people are where which are like, for example, millennial generation, or probably I'll say the people who have born after 90. So by default they were adult, they were know that okay, internet is available by default. Right? You are more adaptive, more advanced using the technology, right? So for example, if you need to do you might feel comfortable that okay, we are already having a classes on Zoom or Google Meet. It doesn't make much difference. If people who are from very far location is traveling 2 hours, or some people might be outside of city also. Same scenario is there in the corporate world also. So when we as an person accountable to manage the team, in my team I have a candidate who just recently passed out from the college. At the same time I have a person who is having a 10 years of experience, and at the same time the person I'm reporting to, he is the group CEO, he is having almost 55 years of age. They all have a different background and different expectation. My CEO expect that there should be command of authority, right? But I cannot do the command of authority with the person who has just recently graduated in the college. He will say, okay, you are saying with it, there is another company, I'll go. Okay. And if there is a brain drain, I cannot manage. Because ultimately, you need to carry the brand of your organization also. People don't work for organization, people work for manager, right? So how good people interaction you have with your individual team member, that is very important. So before having anything, any quality, you need to have a good human being. That is foremost important. If you are a good human being, you can understand or you can address the genuine concern of your team member, then you will be able to manage the scenario. So what I can see, that when you have a multiple generational people, how you will address them. So the people who are very senior, especially like people who are from boomer generation, they prefer in-person interaction, right? At the same time, they might be not so much technological advance, even though they have a full control of business and full domain knowledge also. But they might have a certain assistant who are helping them in scheduling the meetings, they have personal PA, secretaries. But at the same time, if you need to report them, right, you need to provide them the analytical, so probably people have seen the data science, you are coming with the analytics, you need to provide the pictorial representation, analytical representation of what happening in your domain, in your department to the board, in quarterly board review. So you being a management graduate, when you are entering into the corporate, you need to be well versed with the technology, right? Technological domain which is really important. I'm not saying that it is not important. It is important. But at the same time, you need to make it understand to the person who don't know about that technology. But he is your sponsor, investor, or your group CEO or your department head. So all those things will matter. So what is the first thing? First thing is you need to do to manage the multi-generational workforce is the appreciation and understanding, right? Whoever is working with you, you need to make sure that you are appreciating the person's right thing. So especially the people generally of the, I will say in age group of 40 to 55 or 60, they command the respect. Even if you might be in a higher position, they might be working under you, but you cannot say ki, because I am at the higher position. Especially if suppose you will become an IAS, right? You might be a collector for one particular district. But there are certain people who are in various age group. They might be more senior to you. How you will manage? So even if you commanding them, you need to give them a proper respect. You need to appreciate them, right? But at the same time, there is a person who just joined in your team. What he command? He will command more a real-time feedback. So gone are the days when annual appraisal used to happen in once in a year, right? No one will wait for once in a year appraisal cycle or 8 to 10% increment. Gone are the days. Organizations are facing a challenges like, if I have hired one intern or one management graduate trainee, I need to give him a weekly feedback or even real-time feedback. At the same time, if he has done a good work or he has done a really good job, I need to do the sport appreciation, or I will give him a sport award. Because he will not wait for me that, okay, when after 12 months there will be, appreciation or appraisal cycle, and I will consider all your emails, and you will go and search the Outlook, or that, okay, who is the customer who has sent me an email 6 months back. No one respond, because new generation, which is especially the millennial generation, or after that, they are demanding immediate input. At the same time, probably I would say the loyalty towards the organization. Earlier, like my parents, if they have entered in an organization, they will retire from the same organization. But consider the case now, people feel that the duration in which the particular new generation is staying with the organization are reducing. When I say reducing, means probably 3 years, 5 years. If the value doesn't match, now gone are the days people used to say, just transfer me from one department to another department. Now people say, even before you transfer, I will look for another job in another company. So if you are in that position that you need to retain your team, you need to give the right feedback to them at the right time only. At the same time, how the organization are coping up with that. So consider the case that what used to happen when we have released some offer letter to a candidate. What used to happen that, okay, there are 2 months after there is a joining, probably you will receive the offer letter, you will get a call once in a month, and then at the end of the, at the joining day, you will go into the organization, HR will complete the onboarding formalities, right? Now, that is not happening right now. What happens the day the offer letter get released to the candidate, the new generational, or even if any guy at any level, the engagement has been changed a lot, especially in last 3 years because of COVID. What happened? That the moment I have released the offer letter to any new interns or new candidate, who is even experienced candidate joining in my team, it is my KRA to make a call him at least once in a 2 week, just to make sure how he is doing. Organization are inviting the candidate in pre-joining parties. So like in my organization, I have a holy party. I will make sure that all the candidates who are in NCR, and if I have released them offer letter, I will invite them in parties. They will understand my team member, they will understand the culture, right? And they will be connected with the organization team also. So that will play a very important role. So technology also changed. At the same time, in the 2 months duration, people or the organization are sending the training videos to learn about the organization you are joining. And we at the same time in the organization also come to know that if person is not completing those, it means he is the less interested. He found a better job opportunity, or he might looking for he have some other plans. So this is the way. So if you are going into the organization, definitely you need to, what is the time I have? How much time I have? No, still allocated time. Can you see? 15 minutes. Okay. So I just checking the time. So my point is that if you get into the corporate world, you enter into that organization, and you are accountable to manage the multi-generational team, you need to keep in that mind, especially the background. So initial, like people who are used to come with, they're more secure about their job. They need that, okay, there should be a stability, right? There should be a growth path, well-defined growth path. But at the same time, in new generation also, things will remain same only. But the expectation level vary. There people used to have a more patience that, okay, I will wait for 1 year, probably if my manager has done the commitment, he will deliver it. But in the new scenario, even before you feel that, okay, after 1 year, my manager will deliver it, probably you are in the organization or your manager is not in the organization. So whom you will talk? Okay, so this is the real-time scenario. So we need to meet that the organization also changing their day-to-day work culture. Same time, I'll tell you. Now, probably Archana ma'am has said that, okay, now all people should bring into the physical classroom, right? There might be certain people who might be have their ecosystem they have developed. Okay, they might be doing some other task also. They are doing some freelancing job also. But now, because full day you need to be in a college campus, and you need to continue with this also. So they might be facing a challenge. There might be certain resistance also. Same happen in the organization also. From last 2 and 3 years, people are working from home because of COVID scenario. Now we are calling them back, right? There will be first resistance. Does I really require to be able to be in office? Because from last 2 years, if I am able to deliver it, then why I can't deliver right now? What has changed over the night? Right? Only the COVID has gone. But if I from last 2 years, organization has survived, I am able to deliver my project deliverables. I am able to do my task. You are paying me also. We were able to retain the customer also. Then why I need to be in an office? Again, there are certain scenarios. Obviously, I don't say that personal human interaction can, replaced by anyone. No, it can never be replaced. But at the same time, we also need to be very flexible. So people, like I said, that who are having from generation X, they demand that, okay, team need to be in front of me, especially the old boss. If I'm commanding 20 people sit in front of me from 10 to 5. But if there are new generational manager, probably if you go, you will see, okay, you are planning some vacation, I don't bother, as long as I'm not receiving a, client escalation, you are able to deliver it, you are able to manage your work, it hardly matters from where you are working, in which time zone you are working. So this type of sort will also come. So there might be a scenario, people who fall into that category also, and people who fall in other category also. So with different approach you need to keep in mind. So one, identify the common ground, appreciate the peoples, you are definitely working with them. At the same time, always keep in the mind that the person is coming from which context. Okay, so contextualization is really important. You cannot have a generic, mindset that, okay, this policy will follow with this. So you need to understand the genuinity or the valid argument from those persons. So these are the basic summary from my side. I think, and I believe you all will be a good managers, because you are already, in DSF, and probably teachers and faculty is also really good. But in case, the strongest part is the alumni. My personal request is try to connect with the person who has passed out from this organization, make a connect with them, along with your faculty, try to reach out to them, that if you are doing an HR or you identify the organization where you, after this completion of the course, what you want to do, try to make a connection, ask them what are the real-time projects are going on, how the culture has been changing, how they are managing the teams. This is really important. So keep a connect with your alumni, your fellow member, and identify the mentor. In industry, it is really important to identify the mentor, and mentor is the one who will guide you. So that is my recommendation. Thank you. And if you have any question, query, you can reach out to me. Thanks a lot. Thank you.